I used to think decluttering meant pulling everything out and dealing with it all at once. That's what I always did. Empty the closet, spread everything out, make a giant mess. But honestly, it never worked. I'd run out of time or energy and end up stuffing half of it back in. Then I watched how my mom handled it. She used to clean houses for a living, and she never started that way. She followed a simple process, step by step, no matter what space she was working on. It looked slower, but it worked better, and she always finished. When I tried it in my own home, I finally felt like I had a way to declutter that actually made sense. In this video, I'll walk you through that same 6-step process so you can use it in any room and actually get it done. And if you stick with me through the end, you'll see how each step fits together and why skipping even one can make everything feel harder than it needs to be. All right, let's get into step 1. The first step is to get ready before you start decluttering anything. When I was younger, I used to jump right in. I'd open a messy drawer or pull everything out of a closet thinking I was being productive. But all I did was make a bigger mess. I didn't know where to put anything, and within 10 minutes, I felt overwhelmed. That's when I remembered how my mom used to do it. She cleaned houses for a living, and I noticed she always paused first. She'd stand in the space, look around for a bit, and then go get what she needed. Nothing fancy, just a trash bag, a cardboard box, maybe a basket or a towel. But she always had a system. She never touched a single item until she had somewhere to put it. So now I do the same. Before I start, I take a second to think, am I going to be throwing things away? Are there things that I'll donate? And what about stuff that belongs in a different room? If the answer is yes to any of those, I grab a few things. Usually I get a trash bag for anything broken or expired. I find an empty box or shopping bag for items I want to give away. And if I know I'll come across things that need to go elsewhere, like socks in the living room or dishes in the bedroom, I bring a laundry basket or any kind of bin I can carry around easily. Then I find a clear space to work on. That could be the kitchen table, the bed, or even just a corner of the floor. I use it to lay things out while I'm sorting. If I'm working in an area where something might leak, like a bathroom drawer or under the sink, I'll put down a towel or an old cloth first. Sometimes, if I know it's going to be a bigger project, I'll also grab a marker and a few sticky notes so I can label little piles as I go. That's especially helpful if I get interrupted and need to remember what I was doing. The point is, I don't start until I have somewhere to put things. That small bit of prep, just 5 minutes, makes a huge difference. I don't waste time walking back and forth, and I don't give up halfway through because everything feels chaotic. So before you dive into the mess, stop for a moment. Look at what kind of stuff you're about to deal with. Grab a few bags, a box, maybe a basket, and clear yourself a place to work. That's it. Just by doing that, you'll save yourself a lot of frustration, and you're much more likely to finish. And if you ever feel like your space has already gotten out of hand, and you just need a quick way to get it back on track without going through the whole process again, don't worry. In an upcoming video, I'll show you the exact reset routine I use when things start to pile up again. It's quick, realistic, and perfect for those days when you only have a few minutes but need a big difference. But first, let's move into step 2, because now that you're set up and ready, it's time to take everything out and see what you're actually working with. The second step is to take everything out of the space you're working on and start sorting it into groups. That means if you're cleaning out a drawer, take everything out of the drawer. If it's a shelf, take all the items off the shelf. You want to be able to see every single thing in one place. When things are hidden in the back or stacked on top of each other, it's hard to make good decisions. You forget what you even have. My mom used to do this every time. She never tried to organize while things were still inside a cabinet. She'd pull everything out first and spread it out on a table, a towel, or even the floor. Then she'd look at what was there and start grouping things that were similar. When I started doing it this way, it made everything easier. If I was working on the bathroom cabinet, I would take everything out and place it on the counter. Then I'd start grouping shampoos in one area, face products in another, first aid stuff in another. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just putting similar things together helps your brain understand what you're looking at. If I'm organizing a kitchen drawer, I might find batteries, scissors, pens, and takeout menus all mixed together. I just pull everything out, put the pens in one pile, the cords in another, and so on. Same with a closet. I lay the clothes on the bed and then group pants, shirts, jackets, and accessories into separate areas. This doesn't mean you need to empty the whole room at once. That can feel overwhelming. Just pick one drawer, one shelf, or one section of the closet and do that first. Take things out in small parts if that's easier. The key is, don't leave things hidden inside while you're trying to make decisions. Get them out where you can see them. Once you have things out and roughly sorted, it's a lot easier to see what you have too much of what's expired or what you haven't used in ages. You don't need to make decisions yet, just group things and get a clear picture of what's there. So, that's step 2. Take things out, group similar items together, and give yourself space to see what you're working with. It's a bit messy for a little while, but that's okay. It means you're doing it right. The third step is to start letting go of the things you don't need. This is the part where you go through what you've pulled out and decide what to keep and what to get rid of. My mom always said this was the step that mattered most. She used to tell me, you can organize all day long, but if you still have too much stuff, it won't stay organized. And she was right. For a long time, I kept trying to make things fit better. Stacking, folding, rearranging. But the real problem was, I just had too much. Once I started letting go of the extra, everything got easier. So now, once I've sorted everything into groups, I go through each group and ask myself a few questions. But I keep it simple. I don't overthink it. I just ask, do I use this? Do I like it? Is it still good? If the answer is no, I let it go. Let's say I'm going through towels in the hallway closet. I pick up each one and think, have we used this in the past year? Is it still soft? Is it stained? If I have 4 towels we use all the time and another 6 we never reach for, I let the extras go. I might keep 1 or 2 as backups, but that's it. The rest go in the donate pile or the rag pile if they're too worn out. Same thing with old bottles in the bathroom. If I haven't touched a product in months and I don't even remember why I bought it, it's probably safe to say I'm not going to use it now. That goes in the trash or recycle bag. Some things are harder to let go of, like gifts or items that remind us of someone. My mom used to say, you can keep the memory without keeping the object. And that helped me. If something feels special, I stop and ask, do I want this in my everyday space? Or would it be better kept somewhere safe like a memory box? Sometimes I move those items to a keepsake bin instead of keeping them in high-traffic areas. What I've learned is that the more I let go of things I don't need or use, the easier it is to take care of what I keep. Fewer towels means laundry is easier. Fewer dishes means the sink doesn't pile up. Fewer toys means the kids can clean up faster. Decluttering isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about making space for what matters. And it doesn't all have to happen in one day. You can do one group at a time, one drawer, one shelf. But the more you practice letting go, the more confident you'll get. So in this step, go through your sorted items one by one. Be honest but gentle with yourself. Keep what you use, love, or truly need, and let the rest move on. You'll be surprised how much lighter your space and your mind will feel. The fourth step is to start putting things back into the space. But this time, you don't just put them anywhere. You think about where each item should go so that it's easy to grab, easy to put back, and doesn't get messy again. When I used to finish decluttering, I would just throw everything back neatly and hope for the best. But within a week, the space looked like a mess again. Then I remembered how my mom always did it. She didn't just organize to make things look nice. She always asked, what's going to make this easy to keep up? So now when I put things back, I start with the things we use the most. Those go in the easiest spots. For example, if I'm doing the hallway closet, the towels we use every week go on the shelf right in front of me. Not too high, not too low. The beach towels, which we only use in summer, can go on the top shelf. The guest bedding, which we hardly touch, can go further back or lower down. I also try to keep similar things together. All the face towels go in one spot. All the shampoos go in one bin. All the light bulbs go in their own corner. That way, when someone in the family is looking for something, they don't have to open 5 different bins to find it. And I always leave a little bit of space between the groups. If the shelf is packed too tight, everything starts falling over and gets mixed again. So even if it looks like I could squeeze one more bottle in, I leave a bit of room. It helps the space stay tidy longer. One more thing I learned from my mom. Don't aim for perfect. Fold things the way you'll actually keep folding them. If you know you won't roll your towels every time, just fold them in halves or quarters, whatever is simple and quick for you. The point is to make it easy to reset even on a busy day. And if I'm not sure where something should go, I don't force it. I try one spot live with it for a week and move it if it doesn't work. Sometimes just swapping 2 shelves makes the whole thing easier. So when you get to this step, slow down a little. Look at what you're putting back. Ask yourself, do I use this often? Can I grab it easily? Will it be easy to put away when I'm in a rush? If the answer is yes, you're doing it right. This way, the space doesn't just look good today, it actually works for you every day. The 5th step is to label things and make small adjustments so the space is easy to keep tidy later on. This is the step that makes a big difference over time. Everything might look good right after you organize it, but the real test is whether it stays that way next week or the week after. That's where labels and little tweaks really help. My mom used to say if people don't know where things go, they won't put them back. And it's true. Even in my own house, if there's no label, things start moving around. One day the batteries are in the basket by the sink, the next day they're mixed in with the cords. It doesn't mean anyone's doing anything wrong, it just means no one's sure where things are supposed to live. So now, once I've put everything back, I stop and ask, would someone else know where this goes? Would I still remember next week? If the answer is no, I add a label. It doesn't have to be fancy. I've used masking tape and a pen. I've written on sticky notes. In some closets, I've just taped a piece of paper on the shelf. It doesn't need to look perfect. It just needs to remind you what belongs where. For example, in my linen closet, I have a small bin for kids' medicine and another one for backstock soap and shampoo. Before I labeled them, everything got mixed together. But now, even if I'm in a rush, I know exactly where to toss that extra toothpaste. It takes 2 seconds, and it saves me from digging through everything later. If you have kids, labels help even more. I labeled the baskets for their socks and underwear. I labeled the bins in the playroom. It makes it easier for them to help clean up and they don't have to keep asking where things go. Now, after labeling, I also look at the space and ask, is this working? Do I need to move anything around? Maybe something I thought would be easy to reach isn't actually in a good spot. Or maybe a bin is too small. I don't wait for it to become a mess again. I just fix it right away. Sometimes I'll live with a setup for a few days and then adjust it. That's completely fine. Organizing isn't something you get perfect the first time. It's normal to tweak things until they feel right. My mom always said it's better to fix a small problem now than clean up a big one later. So that's step 5. Label the spots you want to stay clear, and don't be afraid to change things that aren't quite working. Even a tiny change like switching shelf positions or writing one word on a piece of tape can make a big difference in how long the space stays neat. The goal isn't just to organize once, the goal is to make it easier to keep it that way. The 6th and final step is finishing up. That means cleaning up any leftover mess, dealing with what's going out of the house, and putting away anything you didn't use. It sounds simple, but this is the step a lot of people skip and then wonder why the space never feels completely done. I used to be guilty of this. I'd spend hours decluttering a space, setting everything up, putting labels on bins, and then leave the donation pile sitting by the door for 2 weeks. Or I'd have trash bags sitting in the hallway waiting for later. The job wasn't really done. And over time, that leftover clutter made me feel like I hadn't accomplished anything at all. My mom was the opposite. She always finished the job all the way through. After organizing, she'd sweep or wipe down the area she worked in, take out the trash load donations into her car, and return any supplies to their place. That was her rule. Don't call it done until everything's truly out of the space. Now I do the same. When I finish organizing a closet or a room, I stop and look around. What's still here that doesn't belong? Is the donation pile still sitting in the corner? Are there empty boxes or extra containers I didn't use? I deal with those things right away. I take out the trash load donation bags into the car and return extra baskets or bins to the storage shelf. If I don't have time to do it all at once, I at least give each category a home. I'll put donations in the trunk so they're ready to drop off when I'm out. I'll gather batteries or expired medication in a bag and leave a note on the fridge to take them to the right place later. I try not to leave anything in between no mystery piles waiting for future me to handle. This step is also about giving the space a final reset. I might wipe down shelves one last time or fold a towel that got unfolded during sorting. Sometimes I'll step back and take a picture of the finished space, not to show off, but because it reminds me that I finished. It feels good to look at a space that's clean, clear, and completely done. One thing that really helps is asking for help with this step. My mom always had a system for this. While she handled the inside space, someone else would take out trash or load the car. Even now, I'll ask my partner to drop off donations or help me lift something heavy. It saves energy and keeps me from dragging things out for days. This last part might feel small, but it's what ties everything together. It's what turns almost done into finished. And it gives your brain a clean ending. You don't keep thinking about the piles you still have to deal with. So when you finish organizing, take 10 more minutes to truly finish. Get the trash out, move the donation bags, wipe the last surface. Put away the tools you used. It's a simple step, but it gives you the full feeling of being done. And that's what makes all your effort feel worth it. And that's the full 6-step process I learned from my mom and now use in every space I organize. From a junk drawer to a full closet, these steps have helped me finish what I start and keep it that way without burning out. I hope walking through them made things feel a little clearer and more doable for you too. In the next video, I'll show you how I use a simple reset routine to quickly get a messy space back under control without starting from scratch. It's what I do when things start to unravel and I just need a fast way to clean up, reset, and breathe again. If this video was helpful, feel free to like it, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks so much for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.